Hey guys, welcome back. This is Delicate Tutorials here, and thank you very much for watching this tutorial. Today we're going to be doing some cinema 4D modeling. We're going to be modeling a simple, cute little low poly car in cinema 4D, and I just put up the preview after the intro, so you guys can check it out. So I'm going to be making a series of these low poly tutorials because I have something in mind at the end which I will combine all the future tutorials and make one single tutorial. So you guys have to wait and watch to to see what I'm going to be making. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. So let's go and change our render settings to 1280 by 720, and then we want to go and grab a cube. And I'm just going to go to display and choose graph shading lines, so we can see the lines that are over here. And you can press H on the keyboard to zoom it into position. And then I'm going to go and change the parameters, the size X, Y, Z. Okay, so I'm going to set the X to 300, and I'm going to set the Y to 40, and I'm going to set the Z to 150. Okay, where's my mouse? Okay, there it is. Okay, and then I'm just going to go and increase the segments on the X to 3, Y to 2, and the Z to 3. And then we're going to click on the cube and click this button over here, or we can press, or we can hit C on the keyboard to make it editable. So now it's an editable object. Okay, so once you make it editable, we just want to go and choose the polygons over here. Go to the polygon selection tool. We just want to select these 3 polygons. We want to hit I on the keyboard to get the extrude inner, or you can go to right click and choose extrude inner. And I'm going to set the offset to 10. Make sure that preserve groups is checked, so we can see it's like a single polygon kind of thing over here. And let me just Control Z that, and if I remove preserve groups and set the offset, you see it creates an individual extrude for each of the polygons. So we just want to create preserve groups on, and we're going to hit set 10 centimeters, and then we want to hit D on the keyboard to get the extrude tool, that is D for dance. And then we're going to go and set the offset to around let's set it to 20, and I actually want this Y over here to be around 160. Okay, so you guys can just add any offset, and you can hit 160 on the Y parameter over here, and that will shoot that up to 160. I'm actually going to set this to 140 because I think 160 is pretty too much. Okay, and then the next thing we want to do is we want to go and select the points, and we want to go and select these points here on the right, and these points we want to hold down Shift, and we want to select these points. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to scale it on the Z axis. So I'm just going to go to the size 0 here, and I'm going to set that to 170. And boom, we have some low poly less. So if I hit render, we see that we have some shading and rounding over here. So to remove that, I'm just going to go to this font tag, and I'm going to delete it. So what a font tag usually does, it gives it the effect or an illusion of curviness. So now if I hit render, we can see we have sharp edges, which is what low poly is basically all about. Okay, going further. So next we want to go and grab these points over here. Let's grab these points, hold down Shift to select, and we want to go this side, and we want to go and select these points, and then we want to scale it. So I'm going to go to the Z over here. I'm going to set that to 160. Oops, not 60. We want to scale it on this axis. Okay. So here on the X axis, we're going to set that to 160. And then you guys can pick any side you want. And we're just going to go and select, I'm going to select these set of points. And I'm going to set the X to 20. Oops, sorry. We want to move it like that. So probably around minus 95. Okay. That was good. So this is kind of the front of the car. Okay. So now, depending on what kind of a car you want, you guys would want to model the next part. So if you guys want a kind of a sedan kind of a thing, you guys can keep this as it is. But if you guys want something like a hatchback, Then we're going to select all these points, and we're going to move it inside. So I'm going to say probably around the 110, and so that looks like a kind of a nice hashback. And then we want to go select these points over here at the front, and we want to push this out front. So I'm going to put this to say minus 190, so something like that. Okay, and then the next thing we want to do is we want to grab these 2 points on the edges on the side, and we want to scale it in. So on the Z, I'm going to set this to 150. So what that is, that pushes in this thing, because then we'll have a kind of a curvy look, because we don't want it to be exact, parametric type looking. Okay, so that is for the body, and then next we can go and choose our polygon mode, and we can select these 3 polygons that we have over here. Let's actually select all of these polygons. So a cool shortcut is by pressing UL on the keyboard, which gives the loop selection, or you can go to select and choose loop selection, and we can just click over here, which automatically selects all the sides of the polygons. And then I'm going to go press I on the keyboard, and I'm going to set an offset of 6, and we can see that. And then I'm going to press D on the keyboard to get my extrude tool. I'm going to set the offset to -5. So now we have a windshield and back windshield and 2 windows. Pretty cool looking. And then what we want to do is we want to go with these polygons, like we want to go to select and choose set selection. So what that does is that creates a selection, and I will show you how to use it when you're texturing this thing. So the next thing we want to do is, oops, what was that? We want to go and choose the headlights. So let's close this thing up. So let's go select these 2 polygons and these 2 polygons. I'm going to press I on the keyboard to get the extrude inner. I'm going to set the offset to 5, and I'm going to press D on the keyboard to get the extrude tool, and I'm going to set the offset to say something like -3.5, and that pushes it in slightly. After that, we want to go and choose extrude inner again by pressing I on the keyboard, and then we want to set the offset to 2, and then we want to go and press D on the keyboard to get the extrude again, and this time we want to give it a positive 3.5. So something that looks like that. So let me just hit render and see. Yeah, you see this thing? That's what we're looking for. Okay, we're going to go and do it for the backside as well. So let's just go repeat that process really quick. So I'm going to select these 2 polygons, like these 2 polygons, press I on the keyboard, set an offset of 5, press D on the keyboard, set an offset of -3.5, then press I on the keyboard again and set an offset of 2, and press D on the keyboard and give it an offset of 5. The same process. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to go and zoom in. We want to press UL on the keyboard to get the loop section, and we just want to hold down shift, and we want to select this loop, this inside loop. Okay, let's do the same here. Hold down shift and select this loop. So you want to put your cursor on the corner on this edge, and then we want to select that, and then let's go to select and choose set selection. Oops, okay, so I made a mistake over here. So what you want to do is, when you are applying a set selection, you want to make sure that this is not selected. So here what I made was, now this selection is this. So I'm just going to call this tail lights, and then I'm going to click away, make sure that this thing is not selected. I'm going to go to the cube again, and this time I'm just going to go and select these 3, all these set of 6 plus 6, that's, sorry, 3 plus 3 plus 2, whatever number it is, those many polygons, and then I'm going to go to set selection. So now that creates another selection tag, and I'm going to call this Windows. And then we want to go to the front part over here, make sure this tag is not selected, and we want to go select these 2 polygons, press UL on the keyboard, hold down our shift to extend our selection, and then we want to go to select, we're going to go to set selection. I'm going to set this to headlights. Perfect. Let's zoom back. Okay, so after we do that, we want to go and select a live selection. We want to select this polygon and this polygon right over here. We're going to hit D on the keyboard to get the extrude. We're going to hit set an offset of 5, and then we want to go into the points mode. We want to select this point right over here, sorry, these 4 points, and we just want to shove them right down, but we want to make sure that they do not intersect the object, so just a little bit up. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Then we want to select these 4 points on the top over here, and we just want to go and move these. Oops, Control Z. Okay, hold down Shift and you want to select all these points, and we want to move these back, something like that. So let's set this to our -90. Okay, let's go further. We're going to go select these 2 polygons that we have over here, and then we want to press I on the keyboard, and we want to give it an extrude inner offset of 8, and then we want to press T on the keyboard to get the scale tool. I just want to scale this thing out. Sorry, my phone is buzzing. So I'm going to set this to something like 45. And then I'm going to hit D on the keyboard to get the extrude inner tool. I'm going to set the offset to -4. And then I'm going to press I on the keyboard to get the extrude inner. I'm going to set the offset to 6. Okay, and then you want to hit T on the keyboard. Oops, you want to set the offset to 6. And then you want to hit T on the keyboard. And then you want to scale this out completely so it extrudes. Sorry about the disturbance. Okay, anyways, after that, we want to go and press D on the keyboard to get the extrude, and we want to give it an offset of 4. And then we actually, let's give this an offset of something like 3.9. So, or let's go down even further, so it something like that, because so it kind of doesn't intersect. And then we just want to hit T on the keyboard, and we want to scale down the y-axis over here to get something looking like that. So y-axis, I think I'm going to set this to 6. Okay, that's looking good. Okay, so once we do that, we just want to go and hold down Shift, and we want to select all these polygons that are over here on the left side, top, bottom. Yeah, like that. And then we want to grab a new selection. So we want to go to select and choose set selection, and I'm going to call this I don't know, just front, because I have no idea what to call this because I'm not an engineer. Anyways, okay, so once we set our selections, we can go and start creating the handles. So we want to select this polygon over here, hold down Shift and select this polygon over here, and you want to press I on the keyboard to get the extrude inner. I'm going to give it an offset of 7, and then I'm going to press T on my keyboard to get the scale tool, and I'm just going to scale it on this axis, and probably I'm going to set that down to say something like 20, and I'm going to go and move this back, so to say something around like I don't know, let's say, so this is the back. Okay, so say something around 40, and then I'm going to hit D on the keyboard to get the extrude tool. I'm going to set the extrude to 4. So now we have the door handle. Okay, next we'll go and create the wheels. So we can go and grab a new cylinder. I'm going to set the height to 10. I'm going to set the rotation segments to 10. I'm going to set the orientation to +Z, and we're going to pull this thing out. And I'm going to go to the cylinder and set the radius to this to 30, and I'm going to set the height to 5. And then we're going to go into our front view, and we just want to place this over here. I'm just going to bring this slightly down. Okay, so let's say this is around -20, and we can move this over here. So let's say around -130. And let's go into our top view and let's position this thing. So let's actually, okay, let's actually model this thing, and then we can go ahead. So I'm just going to hide the cube for now, and we'll just concentrate on this. I'm going to press H on the keyboard to center it, and then let's make this thing editable by hitting C. Okay, so we want to go and select both the sides. So let's select this side, and let's select this side, and I'm going to hit M S on the keyboard, which gives us the bevel tool. So if you hit M, you see we have a list of options, and S, if you see, is bevel. So, and I'm going to just set the offset to 10 and the extrusion to 10 as well. Okay, I like that. And I'm going to press I on the keyboard to get the extruder. I'm going to set an offset of 3. And then let's press D on the keyboard to get the extrude tool, and I'm going to set an offset of -3. And I'm going to hit D on the keyboard and to get the extrude tool. Sorry, I to get the extruder. I'm going to set the offset to 3.5, and I'm going to press D on the keyboard to set and give it an offset of 4. Okay, so we kind of have something that looks like a wheel. Okay, and so now let's make this visible again, and we want to go and push this thing inside. So let's go to the model tool, and we just want to push this inside. We don't want it to be completely too front. So I think that suits. Or we can actually go back to our front view and drag this dude a little bit up like that. Then let's go back to a perspective view, and we want to move this in. Okay. I'm going to bring this down to say something like -20, and then I'm going to push this in to say around -80. -80. Okay, I think that's okay. That's not that bad. Okay, so you want to clone this. So instead of cloning, use a cloner. We're going to be using the symmetry object. So what does the symmetry object do? It clones the object. So now we can see that it exactly has created it on the opposite side from the same distance from the center, which is giving us a bad alignment. So what we want to do is we want to click on the cylinder. We just want to drag this thing in, and then we want to take the whole symmetry, and then we want to move it to the side. You know, something like that. So let's go and extrude this thing out. Okay, that's perfect. That's amazing. That's what we want. Okay, and then we can go and grab another symmetry, and we can take the symmetry and drop it inside the symmetry, which creates a copy over here. But we want to change the mirror plane to XY. And now we get it on the other side. Perfect. Okay, oh, oops, so we want to Control Z that. We want to take this symmetry that we created and set this to XY. There it is. Okay, that looks amazing. So let's just texture this thing, do some simple writing, and let's get this thing done. Okay, so now we're ready to texture this guy. So let us see how to do that. So I'm just going to go create a material. I'm going to go and create a white material, and then I'm going to uncheck the specular. I'm just going to go into the reflection. I'm going to set the reflection down to let's say around 40%, and that's it. Our material is ready. So let's see where we want to apply this. So I'm going to put these on the windows. So let's see. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to grab this and drop it on the cube, and that applies it to the whole thing. But we want it only on the windows. So that's where our selection tag comes into picture. So here our selection tag says windows. So in this material selected, we want to drag our selection tag and drop it here in this place called selection. And now that applies it only to our selection. Okay. Next, we have our taillights. So let's go grab a new material. And let's delete this material. Let's copy paste this material that we have over here, and we want to go to the color, and we just want to change it to a nice red color. Okay, and then we want to go drop it on the cube, go to our selection which says tail lights, which is the first one, and we want to drag this in. So now we can see our tail light is over here. Now we want to duplicate this. We want to go and change this to a yellow color light, so something like that. Okay, let's click OK, and let's drop this on, and we want to go and choose the headlights and drag the selection, and there we have the headlights. And one last selection. What is that? Oh, that is the front part. Okay, So we're going to go and duplicate this material. We're going to give it some kind of a gray, kind of a dark gray, say something like 80 by 80 by 80. Okay, and we're going to drag this on this one, and let's choose this the front selection and drag that on. So we have something that looks like that. And then we want to add a little bit more selections over here. So I'm going to select the cube. I'm going to select this polygon over here and this polygon over here. So I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to go to select set selection. Make sure that you have not selected any of the other selection tags, and then I'm just going to call this polygon selection, and then I'm going to go and go drag this thing, this gray color material, and drag this inside so it comes here on the side. And we also want to go and put it on the handles. So I'm just going to zoom back. Let's go and choose select set selection. Let's call this handles. Let's drag this material. You can actually also drag it onto the polygon here, which automatically creates the selection over here. So we see these handles have automatically been applied. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, let's do the wheels. So let's go to the cylinder over here, and we want to go and press UL on the keyboard, hold down shift. We want to select this one and this one, and we just want to go and take this gray material, drop it on that, and let's duplicate this. We want to go and make this a complete black material, and we want to go and drag this on the whole cylinder. And now we can see that even though I've applied the selection tag, we are not seeing it. So just a simple thing to fix that, we can just take the first material and then put it in the front, and there we go. We have it right there. And one more thing we need to do is we want to take the font tag for the cylinder and delete that. And now since the symmetry takes the parameters and all the data from the cylinder, it applies the materials to there itself. And let's go just grab one last material for the full overall color of the car, and let's choose a nice cyan blue turquoise type of color, and then we can drag this and put it on the cube. But since we wanted to apply only to the regions which do not have a selection tag, we can go take that and drag it right on the front, and there we go, a cool, amazing car. So to light the scene, I'm just going to be using the HDRI's Studio Pack by Grayscale Gorilla. So we go to recent, we go to presets, HDRI Studio Pack. I'm just gonna drag in a seamless floor, and we're gonna bring this down pretty much like that, a little bit down. And I'm just gonna go and change the floor gradient. I'm gonna set this to a complete, not complete, let's a dark gray and light gray. And then let's just position our camera like this. Okay, and then we want to go and drop in an HDRI Studio Rig, and I'm just going to be using some random ones. So I'm going to go and choose, let's say probably I don't know, this one, the Studio 4.HDR, and then we want to go to our anti-aliasing. We want to set that to best. We want to go to effect, ambient occlusion, effect, global illumination. Oops, not multipass. Effect, global illumination, and we just want to change the primary mode to irradiance cache legacy. Set this to low and set the record density to low. Just low settings. If you guys want high settings, go ahead. Who's stopping you? And then let's hit Control R to make a render and see what we got. So now that is looking pretty good. You know, we have nice reflections and all that crazy cool stuff. You know, I kind of really like it. You know, it's making me happy. So if you think it's you know, it's not fitting it, so you can go and choose any other one. So I think I'm going to go and choose bevel reflection over here, and then let's hit Control R. Oh yeah, there it is. So we have a lot of brightness, That's what I'm talking about. If you guys want, you can reduce the you know, the shininess of the materials. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to go select this one and set the brightness, say probably around to 25%, and let's just go select all the materials, hold down shift, set the brightness to 25, And what is this material? Oh, this is the black one. I'm going to set this to 25 as well. And okay, let's make, what's this? Okay, it's 25. Let's make one last render and see what we've got. Okay, there's less reflection, looking even more better. Okay, I think I'm going to really color and just reduce that down a touch. So set the brightness to probably around 80, or let's actually set this to 90. I like it. Okay, and let's just move the camera a little bit back, and there we go. So this is how to model a simple low poly car in Cinema 4D, guys. And thank you very much again for watching this tutorial. And if you guys do have any future any requests from me, just please drop in a comment in the description, and I shall be more than happy to help you guys out in creating these cool stuff. So till then, bye bye, take care, and see you in another tutorial.